Once again, penetration
is key.
coming to the rescue. So we have base feeds for every occasion. What sets our nutrients apart from each other?
So we've got the cocoa range. Obviously that's going to be higher in calcium levels so that you're compensating for the lack of calcium that holds on to within the media. We've then got the hydro range, which is a complete feed. So the cocoa range had lower potassium levels, but because there's not already the potassium there present in hydro, pure hydro, such as NFT or drip systems, that is up at those elevated levels. We've then also got the Terra selection. Now these are just one part and they are much lower in all of the actual elements in order to balance out what is already present within the soil that you're using. Now what goes through the whole range is the Smart Zen. Now this is the naturally occurring plant extract that we put throughout our range to help encourage more photosynthetic pigment production. That's the chlorophyll. That's the green stuff, which will help the plant obviously produce more energy.
Awesome.
Also helps with stress relief as well.
Yeah.
So when transplanting, you'll get a much healthier plant with that transplantation shock.
It also has, I think on the cocoa, it says Aquazen there. So it's different from Smart Zen, isn't it?
That's right, yeah, two very different products. The Aquazen is a wetting agent or also known as a surfactant. What that does is it breaks the surface tension of the water and stops it forming those films and bubbles that you kind of see, causing the false drainage effect. So what this does is it stops that, it allows that penetration of the nutrient into the media and a much better distribution of water, nutrient and better root development as well, because that root development will follow the path of water in there.
So Callie, there's a lot of products that Shogun has. Which nutrients do I use when? And when do I add in additives?
Right, so what we've done here is we've actually developed 3 different feed charts depending on the system you're using. So we've got a cocoa feed chart, a Terra feed chart and a hydro feed chart to take you through step by step, week by week, what you need to be adding and the quantities you need to be adding and those perfect conditions, your pH that's required and the CFs that are required in there. So it goes through week by week. We obviously start off with the katana to encourage root development and the start as well. So we then will move on to the base feeds, usually a vegetative one for the hydro. For the cocoa, it's a universal feed that you use the same one all the way through, but you slowly increase those nutrients. You then, once you've gone into flour, you will then start to use the boosting products, will help with that transplant shock and to bring
so that's like what, your PK Warrior, Sumo Boost?
Your Sumo Boost you first start off using. And then you wouldn't use the PK Warrior to day 21 of flour. Now what can be a little bit confusing about the feed charts is it says week 4. That actually means day 21 after going into flour. So that's the beginning of week 4, just to clear up any confusion. Because what tends to happen with plants is at day 25 of flowering, they stop growing in height and put all of their actual energy into flower set production and into fruit production as well.
Okay, awesome.
Following that, once you've actually put that in, you'll carry on using the geisha every 2 weeks. I would continue to use the silicon throughout as well. So there's certain key components that we use at particular time points, and this goes through all of these actual charts. You would then, at the end of the actual flowering cycle, is use the force when your plant is ready to maturity and you were looking to harvest within 2 weeks.
Dragon Force.
That's the one.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Dr. Callie. You can pick these up at any GroWell store.